Came up to us giving these kind of links because children like trying to do it. Shut down. Like
How's it going, everybody? If you're not familiar with our channel or you're new here, my name is Nico. My wife's name is Natalie, and we have 4 children, and we homestead and just share our life here on social media. It's been a long time coming, y'all, a really long time for us to get to this step, this video right here, where we are finally bringing you along on our house search, our property search in the Houston, Texas area. So are we going to find a homestead, a farm, a ranch? We don't know. But if you saw our previous video that was shared on Natalie's channel, this is the video right here, then you know some of our parameters already. But just to, give you a little bit more information in case this is your first video, we're moving from Central Florida all the way to the Houston, Texas area. And some of the criteria we're going to be looking for, we want at minimum 20 acres. We would love a property that's already fenced and cross-fenced. We would love a property that already has a barn and or shop if possible. We would also like a property that has a pond, at least one pond that could be a stocked pond for fishing. If it also happens to have tanks, which is what they're called in Texas, which is essentially just a body of water, some might call it a pond, but it's for your animals, for your cows to be able to go into, drink from, cool off in, right? Which you probably really wouldn't want to fish out of. So primarily we want a pond, but if it has tanks, that's fine as well. And we're a family of 6, plus my mother-in-law, who we call Nana, lives with us. So ideally, we could find a home that's large enough to support our family as well. So yeah, once again, if you're a first-time visitor to our channel, please consider subscribing. I really think that you'll like our content. Once again, we have 2 channels. This one right here, R Brown Farmhouse, and my wife's channel right here on the screen. Her channel is simply Natalie Latour Brown. And to our OGs, those that have been with us for however long you've been with us, some of you since darn near the beginning, I'm talking about less than 1,000 subscribers. Thank you for continuing to be here, for showing love and support and sending your prayers and placing your prayers over our family. We truly appreciate you and all of the love and support y'all continue to show us. So without further ado, this video right here, which is the first in about a 3 to 4 video series, is going to be our search for a property in Texas. So without further ado, let's get it, y'all. Let's go ahead and let's get this search started. Once again, thank you. Let's go.
We landed. We landed, Mama? Farrell, we landed? Say, Mama, put my window up, please. Let's go. You ready to go look at some houses? Yeah? You gotta, yeah. You gotta look at some houses. Pick out a room for Sahara.
All right, y'all. So this house right here, we are calling the grandma house. And the reason for that is essentially our realtor told us that the husband and wife that lived here passed away, not at the same time, but they passed away. And the children and grandchildren, they just left the house as is. And you can tell, like, doesn't it look like people were there one day and then gone the next, and the house is just frozen? So essentially, there was a lot of grief. They didn't want to deal with it, is what I gathered. And they put the home on the market eventually, and now they're just trying to sell it. Now, this home, for one, it looks like it never left the late 60s, early 70s, but it's a perfect example of if you can buy quote unquote ugly, because this is a full gut. Like, who agrees with me there? That based on what you've seen so far, this house would be considered like a full gut. Take it down to the studs, move some walls around, start over type of gut. I mean, look at that, right? So, in a home like this, we love these kind of properties because typically you can buy them very low. Because, I mean, let's be real, a house that needs this much work shouldn't be $800,000, which is the price of this property. Now, to be fair, acreage in this part of Texas, which this is Crockett, Texas, is going anywhere from about $10,000 to $12,000 an acre. So even if you demolish the house, they could still sell these 66 acres that also has a tank, slash pond, but I think it's more of a tank, for about $700,000 if I did the math correctly. So essentially, they're trying to say that this house that's a full gut is $100,000. But whew, this market, y'all, trying to sell in Florida in one of the worst housing markets in the past 32 years, then trying to buy in Texas in one of the worst housing markets in the last 32 years, in the two states that happen to be the worst in the United States as far as overall housing market, right? It's been a challenging 2 years, but we're finally looking at homes. We're very excited. And, this is a perfect example of one that just, it needs some TLC, y'all.
Let's go. Okay, last one.
So we're going to make our way outside, which is my favorite part of the property. And look at Pharaoh messing with this. Like, come on, man, don't touch that. So I move him away and listen to this.
You mad?
Y'all see that face? It reminds me of that girl with the fire in the background, that like mischievous face. Watch this.
You mad?
The last one was December.
Oh my god. Look.
That's so hilarious. He's so funny, man. But yeah, once again, 66 acres, beautiful shop. I mean, beautiful shop. It already has like a diesel pump here on the property as well. And there was actually a very nice like gas pump there, but someone came onto the property and stole it. So sad. But the shop, extremely nice. And did I mention the fencing, y'all? The fencing is so amazing on this property, and it has a long drive. That's one of the things that Natalie and I want, just a nice long driveway. We love that. All the things you're seeing here are part of the sale. Like they're just part of the sale. So pretty cool, I guess. There's some things in there we could definitely use if this were the property. Pharaoh's been running around having a time of his
Now,
life.
y'all, I'm sure most of this video has been a voiceover, but I have to come off and once again brag about this fencing. Our realtor said, which I agree with, that this cattle sorting system, the fencing in general, but she said even just this very, very robust cattle sorting system, if you built this yourself today, you're probably easily looking at, she estimated $100,000. Like, if you've seen the pipe fencing that a lot of places have, the piping is not this thick. I don't know if the camera is picking up. Like, the piping is like, you know what I mean? This is very thick, very robust. I mean, sorting pins. And this thing is tall. Look, watch this. Thing's cool. So, yeah, this thing is like robust. Also, inside the shop, which is pretty nice, didn't film that, but there is an office space and there is one stall. It's like a dedicated stall right here. So, can't count this one out. So let's get this drone in the air, y'all, so you can see from the sky what we're working with as far as this property is concerned. And there's that long driveway. Love it. Just perfect. But I'm gonna stop talking now. Once again, let's get this drone in the air and check out the sights and scenes. Let us know your thoughts so far. House number 1, y'all. Drop your feedback in the comments and we'll get to house number 2 shortly. So after a long day of travel from Florida, looking at that first property, which was far outside of Houston, we went to Buc-ee's in Madisonville and we stocked up on some dinner, some nice brisket and things like that from Buc-ee's. We ate at the hotel, which we also stayed in Madisonville this night, and just wind down, y'all. Enjoyed ourselves and prepared for the next day.
Say hi, baby.
Pharaoh, it's the end of day 1. Say it's the end of day 1. End of day 1. Good job. Yay. All right, y'all. So it's the end of day 1. It was a long day. Mom and I have a lot on our mind. I'm not going to lie. So we've decided, after eating our Buc-ee's and enjoying some time and listening to 2 Under 2 cry, that we'll just fill y'all in on day 1 in the morning. But day 2 is going to be jammed packed. We have 2 properties we're going to look at as of now. It could be more. Yeah, we have a lot to digest. So see y'all in the morning, which is like right now.
Okay, we're now in Woodville, Texas, y'all. This is about 2 hours and 15 minutes northeast of Houston. And there's some homes we looked at where the homeowners were still living in the house, and we just didn't feel comfortable filming in a house people were still living in. House number one, once again, no one was living there, so we felt comfortable filming. So what you're looking at here are the listing photos for this home, because obviously those were approved by the seller. Now, the thing we loved about this house is it checked the box of being large enough for our family. This is actually 2 homes that are connected. So it's over 5,000 square feet, plenty of rooms, and you'll also see in one of the pictures here, it has a unfinished attic that already has heat and AC in it. So all we would have to do is go finish it out, and that would add another 1,000 square feet to the house. So we're talking about 6,000 square feet. Also, there's a ton of land with this house right here, 100+ acres if I remember correctly, or maybe it was like 80. I'm pretty sure I put it on the screen. But the gentleman wants a lot of money for this property. It's family land, been in his family for over 100 years. He's very emotionally attached to the property still, which kind of gave Natalie and I like a weird feeling of like, do you really want to sell? And we don't want all the land anyway, because it's not all usable land. So you'll see in one of the photos coming up here that there's about 40 acres that we mapped out, that if this were the property, that would be what we would go for. Those 40 acres of usable land, which does come with a tank. But the primary thing that this property has to offer is space for our family, space for guests, space for there's an actual shop on the property, and a pretty nice barn. So this is the Woodville property number 2.
Y'all, it is 4:41 in the morning. I came out to the car, and oh boy, I don't know. I can't sleep. Been up since about 2. When you're buying property, maybe it's just me. Let me know if you've experienced this or not, but Mom and I have so much conflict with this decision currently. And the main reason is, of course, you have to weigh out your pros and cons, right? And after you weigh out your pros and cons, then you have to think about your needs and wants. Some might argue that's the same thing. I think they're a little different, right? So right now, some of the things we're thinking about is there's some properties that we're looking at that are what some would call move-in ready, right? They're not perfect, because we have to put our touch on it, to get a property to look the way we want it to look. Just like anybody, when you buy something, you're going to put your touch on it. So they're not perfect in our eyes, but most people would call them move-in ready. So these are houses that you can move in, and they may not be exactly how you want them, but you can live there. Like, you don't have to renovate day one. They have decent fencing already. They most likely have a barn and or shop. And one of our other prerequisites, preferably, is at least one pond, right? But guess what? If you're getting a move-in ready property, just like even if you're moving into a suburban neighborhood, those are expensive, right? Because you're paying for a finished product, a quote-unquote finished product. And man, we're getting cold feet at some of the prices of these properties. Really cold feet. So it's like, man, I don't know. And then on the flip side, we have what mom and I are calling the responsible properties or the responsible decision. So what's the responsible decision? That's a property that 8 out of 10 people will see and turn around and run, right? Why? Because the house needs a full remodel or even a partial remodel. The house is in bad shape. So when most people see it, they're like, buy. The fencing may be horrible. The barns might be horrible, right? And as we go through this series, you'll see what I'm talking about, what I'm speaking about, the difference between move-in ready and, a property that you're going to have a lot of optimism. But they're responsible because you can get them at such a great price. So if you're not an OG or you haven't been following us that long, you may not know this, but that's what our property in Florida is. Our property in Florida that we currently have, that currently looks the way it looks, was a property that when you first saw it, most people you would have had to have had a vision, which, mom and I were fortunate and blessed to have when we saw it, because the house needed a remodel. The barn was in rough shape. The property in itself was in rough shape. The shop, fencing, like we did a lot to that property. But here's the beauty in that. If you have the patience, right, the time, you're willing to do some of the work yourself, knowing to hire the right person, but you're willing to do the work yourself, like you can really get a property that on day one, people are like, you're crazy. And then all of a sudden you fast forward 4 years and many people say, wow, your property is so beautiful, right? Now, unfortunately, on our YouTube channel and on our current property, we didn't start sharing videos until we were darn near the finish line of our current property. So unfortunately, many of you didn't get to see the process. So with this new property, whichever one we decide on, we're happy and excited that you'll get to come along on the process to see where it starts and just where it goes over the years. But yeah, cold feet over the price of a move-in ready. And some of these properties that we're looking at that are responsible decisions, and I'm sure in the next clip you'll get mom's thoughts on this, but as we talk about the first property we saw. But y'all, there's rural, there's country, and then there's country. So I would say our current property in Florida is in the country. It's just in the country. Some of the properties we're going to look at are in the country. And what do I mean by that? Our current property, we're in the country, but we're only about 10 minutes from a major US highway. We could get to Walmart in about 13 minutes. We could get to a Tractor Supply in about 13 minutes. Let me see what else. Hit the highway, go to Orlando. Hit the highway, go to Tampa. Hit the highway, go to Ocala. Like, we're in the country, but it's not country. Some of these houses we're going to look at are in the country. I'm talking about as far as your eyes can see, farmland, the nearest grocery store 30-40 minutes away, one gas station in the city, 2 kids in the school. And I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but that's one of our other decisions. This is a life that mom and I want to live, and we don't feel like we want to quote unquote punish our children in a life of solitude because of the life we want to live. So we're also conflicted on like not going to country, because we still want them to be able to have friends around and make friends and play sports and do the things that they would like to do. I don't care what they, chess club, drama club, I don't care. But if you're in the country where the graduating class is like 10 people, you know, good luck. So now we're like, do we want to just go rural country or country? Country, those prices are beautiful. I don't know, y'all.
So there it is, y'all. Day 1 and day 2 of our property search in the Houston, Texas area. And I have no idea how long this video is yet. I haven't done the edit yet, but whew, let me tell y'all, it's been a long journey. It's been a long time coming, and we're excited to bring y'all along on this journey. So what were your thoughts on the 2 properties we viewed today? Do you think it would meet the needs of our family? What did you think about the land itself? What did you think about the homes? Very interested to know what your thoughts are. Please drop them in the comments. As we go through all the homes we're going to be looking at, we want to know y'all's thoughts and get y'all's 2 cents, because this is a very, very, very big decision for our family. Also, there's going to be some behind the scenes shared on Natalie's channel. So if you're interested on what our thoughts were on the properties that we're looking at, and you want to know a little bit more that maybe wasn't in this video, and just other tidbits and, you know, perspective like that, we'll be uploading a video on Natalie's channel this week as well. So if you go on over to her channel, you can check that discussion out if you want to, if you care enough to. And thank you all for the love and support that you've shown my wife on her channel that we started maybe about 2 weeks ago. And she's already at 3,100 subscribers, which, I mean, we're over the moon about, because we know that that's 3,100 people that chose to go to the channel, click subscribe, and watch the content because y'all have an appreciation, or you have a love for our family, and you're there for us. So thank you so much. Once again, if you want to hear Natalie's thoughts on the video you just watched, homes number 1 and 2, head on over there. That video will be uploading this week, and days number 3 and 4 and all the things are coming. So stay tuned, and we'll see y'all in the next one. Peace.